Happy Saturday morning, everyone. It is Jen at Ink Paper Rubber. Sorry to be coming to you so early, but I totally ran out of time yesterday to show you what we got in, and I knew that once we got started with our Saturday, I might not have time, and I didn't want you to miss out on what came in. We got in the latest Tim Holtz release with Stampers Anonymous. It is his Christmas collection, and there is a lot of really amazing stuff in here. We have new stamps and we have new stencils. So let me show you what we got. First thing we got there are 6 new stencil designs in this release. 3 of them are new shifter stencils. And for those of you who came to our demo or maybe our Learn at Lunch, you're familiar with what the shifter stencils are. This is from his first release. They are designed so that you can put down the design and then you shift the stencil and you can add a second color to your design so you can get really fun backgrounds. Here is the diamonds from the original release, and this is the stripes, and this is the dots, which actually we have gone in and even added a third color. You can even play around with them beyond what they were designed to do. Here was the diamonds, and we've gone in and done it with 4 colors. You can do fun things with embossing paste and embossing powder and embossing paste and glitter. You can even really play around like we did with the stripes and do a plaid. So let me show you the 3 new shifter stencils. The first one is the shifter stars. You can see the etched design in there, and that's what allows you to put down your first color, shift your stencil over, and align those with your original stars, and then you can add in the second one and get a perfectly repeating pattern. Love this one. This is a variation of the stripes. This one is called Mint, as in peppermint. You can see you get the thick and thin stripes, and that one looks really amazing when you put your 2 colors down. If you haven't watched Tim's video where he announced these, you might want to, because he does show samples of it. I believe I put a link to it in our newsletter yesterday. And the last new shifter stencil is trees, just a real simple tree shape. And there is a mini stencil set that goes along with that has those 3 shifter stencils in it. There you can kind of see a comparison of the size of the full size and the minis. Then he has 3 new stencils that are not shifter stencils, just basic stencils. The first one is Snow Cap, and as you can see here, when you use it this way, this lets you use your embossing paste to make a perfect snow cap edge on your project. Here is more stars. This one is called Falling Stars. I like how there's the different sizes of stars on here and how they actually get further spaced the closer you go to the bottom. So that would be great for any of your nighttime backgrounds. And finally, this last one is amazing. This is the Burst Stencil. And just like the first 3, there is also a mini stencil set that has those 3 in it: Snow Cap, Falling Stars, and Burst. All right, let's go on to the new Christmas stamps, because there are some really amazing ones. First of all, there are a couple of new Christmas sentiment sets. This one is called Holiday Greetings, and let me see if I can get a piece of white paper to put behind here so that you'll be able to actually see these a little bit easier. We get rid of the glare there. I love this one because in addition to the sentiments, it has these really cool vintage illustrations. These really remind me of the illustrations that you saw on vintage greeting cards, like the snowflakes, and here is the one with the horse-drawn sleigh. The other new sentiment set is just sentiments, but in so many amazing fonts and sizes. Merry Christmas, greetings. I like this one that's more vertical. There's a really fancy one and a much more simple one. Next up is called Winter Watercolors. And as you can see that this has different elements on it. It's got the poinsettias, it's got the pine branches, some berry branches, some holly. And this one, you can tell kind of by the way it's designed, is really designed to give you a watercolor look. You can ink these up. Distress inks or Distress Oxide inks work perfectly, and spritz it with a little water, and when you stamp it, it will give you an amazing watercolor look. And you can even see by the way the stamp is designed with those lighter areas in there that when you do it, it gives you a lot of shading automatically in your work. So really gorgeous. Again, go out and watch this video if you haven't, because there's some really good samples that give you a better idea of what these look like. The next one is called Festive Overlay, and I think this one is a really genius idea. All of these images on here were scaled with the sentiments so that you can do exactly like the title says and overlay it. So for instance, you could stamp that bird in a lighter color and then stamp one of the sentiments over it in a darker color. So you have several sentiments and you have these different holiday images on here. Sorry, these are really hard to show you. The light glares off the plastic, and because they're clear on the back side, it makes it really hard to focus in and see them, but hopefully you can get a good idea. One of the new stamps is a new background stamp set. It's called Music and Advert, and you can see that one of the stamps is a really cool grungy music script background, and the other one is an old vintage Christmas advertisement. Next up is a really fun and whimsical one. This one is called December Doodles. Grab this like this. There we go. And these are all really fun little quick sketches. And actually, these sketches, if you look really closely, were all done in a single line, meaning that the artist illustrated it all without picking up the pencil or the pen to do the illustration. So it starts at one end and goes all the way to the other end. And so there's a bunch of these fun kind of scribbly little doodles on here. Love that little snowman. And then I also really like it because at the bottom there's all these cute little handwritten Christmas sentiments. And these are all pretty small, so these would be great on all different kinds of things, not only to use with these images, but also on a lot of others. All right, one last thing to show you. This one is really amazing. This one is called Glorious Gatherings, and this is a really, really large stamp. He had one earlier this year. I think it was called Glorious Bouquet. You can see this one, how pretty it is. You have the pine branches, you have pine cones, you have actually some succulents in there. Just amazing. And this one is really designed because of the size of it, not so much to stamp the whole image, but just to stamp partial images of it on there. And it really is really gorgeous when you do it. In addition, there are 4 different sentiments that come along with it. And I will also point out that because of the size of this one, it actually comes with its own acrylic stamping block in it. So you don't have to worry if you don't have one big enough, because it actually includes it right with the stamp set. All right, that is all that I have to show you this morning. I hope you're not going to let a little bit of rain keep you away. We have lots of great new product that came in this week. We have a really fun make and take that we're doing today that does a fun background technique. So stop by and join us if you can. Hope you all have a great weekend, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.